Okay, I had to make sure this had an SD card in it before I started messing with it. Can you see me when I sit down? Or is that not fixed? No! Okay. I'm being a little dramatic. I woke up and chose being dramatic this morning. This is me getting ready for a YouTube video. This is me getting ready to record for the first time in like 3 months. Committing. And I'm holding myself accountable by having footage.
2 hours later.
This chair is much higher than I reckoned for. I just changed my chair to a piano stool because, I have been slaving over this setup for hours. Hello, my name is Nora and you are watching It's Cool to Play Bass. I am a YouTuber who centers content around music and, of course, that thing. Because it's cool to play bass. Today's video is a little bit interesting and I'd like to start with an apology. I didn't start this channel entirely seriously. I just wanted to post my experience with a few clinics and just things my friends told me to do. Starting with you should record Sleigh Ride from the double bass perspective, which is the... Did my camera, like, capture that, or was that just a thing on my screen? What if I turn stabilizing off? Would that fix the problem? Okay, so I think we're good now. Okay, so here we are, here's the tier list. I downloaded a bunch of random I downloaded a bunch of random photos of different instruments. I should disclose this is highly focused on orchestra and symphonic band. There's not like electric guitar or anything in here, it's just like orchestral strings, winds, and percussion, except percussion I kind of brushed over because I was very stressed making this. I get stressed out very easily. Start off strong, we're gonna start with strings. I can't tell what anything is anymore. Let's start here, let's start with violin. It deleted my titles. That's really we gotta fix that. We got our tier list names now. Starting off strong with, violin. Now, for those who don't know, I started playing fiddle. Shut up, violinists. If you come at me saying, this is a real violin, I learned violin I can't do math. 8 years later, I almost said 15, that's how old I was. So yeah, I'm a violinist too. Not that good, but I can play it, my god. I can sight read a little bit. But anyways, I'm only gonna put this in would pay for lessons because I have paid for lessons. That's all I have to say about it. Viola. I have also played viola. Not much, way less than I have played violin, but I've played it nonetheless and I still think it's important to bring up. I think they get too much hate. Come at me. Hey, you know whose opinion is right is the one who gets to play that thing. I'm the subject. I'm so bad at this YouTubing thing, it's awful. I will take points away for them reading their own clef. I think them reading alto clef for fun is horrendous, but I also feel bad that some of the stuff written in treble clef for them isn't needed. For that I would say would pay for lessons. I would like to learn viola. Cello. Bear in mind, I'm recording this on the 4th of July in rural southern state. Can I just disclose that that's probably the worst idea? Cello. That apparently, according to my parents, was the initial choice of instrument. Not that, or the violin. Apparently, those are my last choices. Apparently I was really obsessed with cello. I can see why. Like, no hate to cellos. You guys are just really popular. There's a reason that I didn't switch to cello. I guess there's a reason I stuck with that thing. So we're gonna put it as would pay for lessons. I think that's fair. Bass. I'm bass. Alright, next on the line, we're gonna go through woodwinds. Yes, these are all out of order. Kill me. Okay, so the first one we have here, from what I can see, clarinet. The coolest people I have met play clarinet, okay? The only thing with clarinet that I can't like as far as a population of musicians, is that the spectrum for why these people started this instrument is so broad. You can either be, oh, it's the easy instrument, or I'm learning this because I'm learning every instrument and it's like the foundation of half of the woodwinds, right? And then absolutely insane violinist level type of players. I have played the B flat scale once when my bass string snapped, which I know is unheard of, but bear in mind that bass was a school bass. I don't remember if it snapped or unraveled. It probably unraveled, but I like to say that it snapped because it's funnier. Okay, so clarinet. Okay, from my experience playing one scale poorly, it's not my favorite. That sounds so mean. I would put it as pretty cool though. I wouldn't pay for lessons. All right, oboe. This is gonna be a hot take. We're getting into the double reeds now. I personally have always loved oboe. I've also really loved oboe players. I know people diss on the sound. I've only had that instance once in my life where I didn't like the oboe very much, but it also wasn't the person's fault, to be completely fair. What do I have to say about oboe? I haven't tried to learn oboe, right? I would still like to learn it at some point. Not well. I just think it'd be funny if I could play the B flat scale on oboe. I don't know, would I? I'm not sure. Like, do I look like an oboist? I don't think so. I don't think I look like I have touched a wind instrument since birth. I don't look like I go to band. I go to band in the morning. I'm gonna actually put it as pretty cool because it's not that I don't want to learn, is that we already have 3 would pay for lessons and they're all string instruments. Is she okay? I'm talking about my bass. My computer! I think oboe should stay pretty cool. It's not my first choice of wind instrument. Next, bassoon. Now I have tried to learn bassoon, in fact, and I already have an answer. I don't take criticism. I don't take arguments. I am correct. You cannot argue with me. It is the best woodwind. And I was horrible at it. I was playing on a broken bassoon where like every key was like something was wrong with it. I guess. Shout out to Bella for figuring that out. I just sat there idly twiddling my thumbs, watching her face creep into a sense of disdain and horror as she viewed the state of this instrument that I could not comprehend with my tiny feeble string player brain. What's wrong with it? It looks fine to me. Speaking of flute players, flute. I feel pressured to put this at a certain spot, also because it sounds really nice. I am stuck between pretty cool and best instrument ever. Would pay for lessons is out of the question. My most ego boosting moment was the 6th grade, when I was presented with a flute and told to play a note with it, like do the, I don't even know how to hold it, my gosh, and just go do, and I did. I was the best person in that room for like 5 seconds. And now I couldn't tell you how to do that. I couldn't, I really couldn't. I'm gonna put this as best instrument ever because truthfully, flute is such a creature and I will never understand how it works. Next instrument, piccolo, get out. Next, French horn. French horn's the best ever. It's my favorite brass. Well, there's 2 instruments that are tied. Yeah, I just love French horn. I do composition in my spare time. I can't withhold myself from doing anything classical music related, I'm sorry. I compose and I made a piece where there was a French horn feature throughout it, and it is my favorite thing ever. I love writing for French horn, and I love the sound of French horn. It's just such a unique sounding instrument. Next, trombone, except I'll group bass trombone in there too because I wanted to put both photos here, but also that would get really confusing. This is a heated opinion. I don't have any opinions on trombone. I love it in jazz. I don't know. Maybe I haven't been exposed to too much trombone. Next, tuba. Would pay for lessons, easy. I want to learn this instrument. I love tuba. You guys are the coolest. This is all for all my tuba players out there. I realize I kind of skipped a bunch of the woodwinds because all of these, again, are out of order. So we're just gonna finish the brass instruments right here, right now. Euphonium. That's a hot take. I love euphonium. With like no opinion other than I just love that it's a tuba, kind of. It's a tuba, but it's not. I know the difference between, well, I kind of know the difference between a baritone and a euphonium, which is the tubing, except I don't remember specifically anything about that. I just remember listening to a very educated brass player talk about it. My earliest exposure to like band instruments started with a euphonium player, so like my first all-district clinic was me and this euphonium player in the same band. And I just hung out around him because I got really nervous and I had such bad social anxiety that I was basically trembling in the presence of any other human being. And so I just stood by him constantly and watched him play those weird card games on his phone because I didn't know what to do with myself. I was lost. I was scared. Next, English horn. We're gonna start back from the beginning. Why? Why is it called that? I mean, it's interesting. I've only heard it, like, live. Oh, twice. Yes. All-district band this past season. And then I played for the Wizard of Oz Pit Orchestra where they required an English horn. I was the only string instrument in that entire pit orchestra. I moved from violin to string bass because the tuba player left, I guess? I don't really know what was going on. I'm gonna put it by for no hate. I don't... The only reason I'm putting it here is why is it called English horn? It's not a horn, and I'm almost positive it's not English, if I'm correct. Okay, pause, editor me, do your research before I start yapping about something I don't know about. Soprano saxophone. I'm gonna put on pretty cool. I remember playing Xerxes by John Mackey for all district band, and there's a soprano sax part, and I didn't really understand that that was like a real instrument prior to going there, and that was such a golden experience. Next, alto sax. There's so many of you, I have to put you in eh. Oh, I forgot tenor sax. Let's fix that. Okay, tenor saxophone will be next. Alto sax I put on eh because there's just a lot of you. It's not like totally rare. It's cool. Like people can be absolutely insane. It's kind of like clarinet, which I might move because it's like there's such a broad spectrum of the representation of the instrument that I cannot actually form an opinion on it. Is that clarinet? Clarinet, you're gonna get moved. I have a lot of instruments in I'm sorry. Tenor saxophone. I've had a diverse experience with the tenor saxophone. I will put it in pretty cool because the sound is pretty cool. And I also don't meet as many tenor sax players as I do alto. And it has a bigger presence in jazz. Why are you not focusing? I'm the subject. Don't look at her, look at me. Baritone sax. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with my mouse? No! I would never diss baritone saxophone like that. It is the coolest. I'm sorry, like it's the best saxophone. I've had a consistently good experience with bari sax players. Next, piano. Would pay for lessons and do plan to at some point. I've always loved piano. I don't know, like it is kind of like the bread and butter of music. That sounds really mean. Don't take it the wrong way. It's a cool instrument, and I think there's something to be said about the hand-eye coordination needed for that instrument, because I just have bad hand-eye coordination. I'm very clumsy anyways, and every experience of the piano has been... Okay, so next, percussion. I only have 3 categories. One of them is its own. I've probably forgotten a bunch, and that's okay. First of all, timpani. We're gonna put it at best instrument ever because it's cool. And when I've been in charge of moving percussion a lot. I mean, I haven't been in charge, but I've definitely been like recruited to help moving percussion, and this is the hardest instrument to move. Mallet percussion. I just put a thing of mallets. This includes marimba, xylophone, glockenspiel, among others. I hate being mean. I really do. I mean, I'm gonna put it in pretty cool because I feel bad. No, that's not how this game works. Here's my opinion. I'm so used to it. It's not hard to understand, but it's really hard to get to a certain level at. Like, I have seen some marimba excerpts that are obviously insanely difficult. I'm gonna put them, I'm just gonna put it at because, again, it's like the clarinet and it's like the alto sax. There's such a big diversity in the instrument itself that I can't judge. I'm not allowed to. Finally, auxiliary percussion. I'm only putting it in pretty cool because Xerxes changed my mind to thinking it's pretty cool. There's so much you can do with auxiliary percussion, right? Like, you can make something sound horrendous with the wrong auxiliary percussion. My generally over percussion, I love percussion, right? It's a vibe. Like, it's what makes, like, certain pieces just really stand out. Anyways, that's the whole tier list. Yay! Shut up. Alright, here's the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed me yapping about instruments that I have little to no understanding of in comparison to the ones that I do. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to see more content with this, I have a few videos planned within the next week or so, including vlogs to get a new bow. Eek! Rah! And I have a very special trip planned in a few weeks that I'm also going to vlog, because I'm sure that's what everyone is raging for. Show us where you're going! I will also be updating on a podcast I'm starting with some friends very soon. Yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye! Stay cool and play cooler. No, never again.